Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Yes, welcome from my side. I'm Sandra, the Chief Strategy Officer at INTAS.tech, and I'm very pleased to talk today about banks and their role as a trustworthy partner in the context of digital assets, especially focused on the wealth management part. I worked for 5 years at a French-German private bank and mainly in the wealth management. And last year in that work, I was responsible for building up blockchain-based infrastructure and building investment solution for the private wealth management. So I know it's a huge topic. And today, so since 6 months, I'm working as the responsible person for the whole strategy and business development topic for INTAS.tech. And INTAS.tech is a consultancy focusing on the strategic assessment of blockchain use cases and the integration of digital assets in IT infrastructure and existing business models, mainly within financial institutions like bank, asset managers, etc. And as I said, today we want to really focus on the private banking part, on the wealth management part, and why it's so important to also focus on how can I give access to this new world to my private clients. And maybe just to make it a close thing, we just start with, I'm sure you already heard it today, but just to sum it up a bit here, why is it still important? We are in a bear market right now when it comes to the crypto asset world, and it's actually a huge topic is the actual situation in a macroeconomical and political context, but we will see a lot of factors which will drive and grow and evolve the crypto market and to get again to the bull market. And the important message here is, so first of all, crypto is not dead. I think we already agree on that. But it's now the time to build infrastructure. It's now the time to focus on the topic, to assess how it will impact your current business model, how it will impact your clients, how it will impact your IT infrastructure, because the experience says that these kind of projects for financial institutions take at least 12 months to implement anything. So even if you start today, it could be already late, because if market turns, we all know that demand will change abruptly. And if your clients are knocking on your door tomorrow and asking for access to crypto assets and you cannot answer, it could be difficult for you, because the client will turn away and go maybe to the competition or invest anyway. So the time to build infrastructure is now, even if we are in a bear market. And especially because I said we are focusing on the wealth management part, especially for the wealth management, there is no real access, there is no real offering in the market. We have the retail part, which is pretty much covered of the big exchanges we've seen, like Coinbase, etc. But we have a huge lack here, because wealth management clients have different expectations, different requirements on their access and on their banks. And you have, we have a report which was published by UBS, and they ask a couple of single-family offices with a really high volume of asset under management, so maybe it's not completely representative for every wealth management, but it's an indication, and this is really important, because what does it say? It says that they are looking into the topic, they're interested, and they want to try out, and they want to learn. It's not about offering the spectacular DeFi products. It's just about being part of it, about testing, just buy and hold. Buy and hold, for example, Bitcoin or Ether or whatever. And they want to do that not alone. They want to have like the secure access to it. They don't want to create a wallet by themselves or register with Coinbase or Kraken or whatever. They really have the desire, and I know that because I talk to these people, to do it with their trusted partner. And this trusted partner is in the banking world, the wealth management part. So private banks have here the opportunity to position themselves in this field, to fulfill this lack which we have in the market right now. And this is a huge opportunity. And I think the most important point here is I'm just talking about crypto assets and giving clients access to crypto. But even if you don't believe in crypto and you say, I don't even want to offer crypto to my clients, you need to build the infrastructure anyway. Because no matter about what we talk in the crypto world or on the blockchain base, let's keep crypto away from the table. When we talk about blockchain-based instruments, and in Germany we have a clear regulation when it comes to electronic securities or crypto fund units, for example. These are traditional financial instruments, just the wrapper is blockchain-based. And even if you want to do that, or if you want to do crypto, anyway, you need always the same infrastructure. You need always a wallet infrastructure, and you always need a custody solution, especially as bank, and most importantly, as a wealth manager. And when it comes to the security part, like the blockchain-based securities, you also need a register solution, but this is another case. But the important thing here is, even if you say crypto is not on your table right now, you need to build this infrastructure if you want to participate in the capital market in the future. So this is really the case for everything you want to do on the blockchain. And this is why it's so important that you have a look in how can you give access to that. And when we come back to the crypto case, you basically, when we put our shoes in the shoes of a private bank, you have basically two options to go. You can either establish an access to digital assets, or you don't. And let's start, if you decide not to do it, then, as I said at the very beginning, when the client is knocking on your door and asks for secure access to invest in digital assets, and you say, no, we cannot offer you that, it will not change his mind. He will still invest, and he still would like to invest. So he will search for another way. So either he turns to the competition, or he will turn to another exchange. And in the worst case, is it something which is unregulated, and he will lose his money or whatever. So he won't be amused. And the risk you have here, or the outcome, is that you, first of all, you need to send away a client. And this is really a dramatical thing to do in wealth management. You have like the loss of revenue. You actually lose also, and I think this is really in particular important, you lost the track of the assets. You lost the track of the allocation and the track of the development of these assets. So you cannot say, if you see, oh, the portfolio is going through the roof, I will call the client to maybe reallocate his assets. You're not able to do that anymore because it's out of reach for you. And for the next generations, digital assets will be absolutely part of the asset allocation. So if you have no offering for them, they will turn away. These are the risks of not doing anything. And if you establish a secure access, so if you decide, I will look into that and I will look at what is the best way to do that, you have still risks. I don't want to say there are no risks, but they are calculable risks. Okay, you can, by the right choice of provider, you can reduce or minimize your risks. And this is really the important part. Because then you can see that the risk is much higher of not doing anything than having a look and choosing the right provider, choosing the right framework, the right guarantees, etc. So you can provide this secure access and you minimize the risk in general. And most importantly, you build with that step also the infrastructure part to access the new capital market infrastructure when it comes to digital securities. So basically, as a bank, you have 3 options to go with to build this kind of access for your clients. You can either make it yourself, so that means you apply for the necessary licenses yourself and you choose a technology provider to work with, and then you have everything under your own roof. You can buy a appropriate licensed custody provider and maybe integrate it, that depends on the business model. Or you can partner with a licensed crypto custody provider, because you always need, in such a setup, to build access, you always need a custodian and you need a broker or a trading interface. So, and the custodian, the trading part is quite easy, also for financial institutions, even to integrate. But the custodian part is really the most important part, and it's the difficult part. So you have these 3 options. And if you see on the right side, you have a table of banks which already announced to apply, so to go for the make solution and apply for the BaFin license in a German context themselves. We have Hauck Aufhäuser Lampe, which are the only ones who actually both are a licensed crypto custody provider. And we have some partner solutions. And when you have a look on it, you can see that most of the banks which chose for the make solution are big retail banks. And for them, it actually really makes sense to do that. But for a private bank or a wealth manager, it's not necessarily the right way to do it, or a good way to do it, because you don't need to do anything by yourself. Actually, you just need to offer this secure access, and you can work with a trustworthy partner yourself. So we have a couple of licensed crypto custody providers in the market, and they are coming more and more, which could be an opportunity to just work with them together. And this could be actually a really great opportunity to offer this kind of access to wealth management clients, because you have a clear structure, partnership or collaboration structure. You don't need to deal with the technical parts by yourself, so you don't need to have all the internal expertise. You don't need to go through the licensing process. You don't need to have everything set up within your bank, because that's not necessary. And we see in the traditional world, not every bank is also a custodian. So, of course, you have some general requirements to consider here to go for, because I think the security part in the whole access thing, especially for the wealth management, because there's always the fear of reputational risk. And therefore, you need, of course, to make sure, and that's what I said with reducing or minimizing the risk, that you have a secure solution, that you are safe when it comes to insolvency risk, etc. But this is always manageable. So, and of course, it's not like what I said is that we have the retail banks, which choose to make solution, and maybe for private banks, it could be the partner solution, it could be more appropriate, but this is not like something you can say in general. You always need to go from your business model, you always need to go from your organizational infrastructure, from your organizational point of view, and your the business case you want to build. And this is where we actually support you. We support in really figuring out what is the right setup for you, what is the right provider for you, and how can you go there? What is the regulatory impact? What products maybe you want to offer in the future? Because this is also a really important thing to have in mind by choosing the right provider. Because if you don't work with a technical solution which is able to maybe just picture in the future DeFi products or something, and not only the pure buy and hold structure of the biggest crypto assets, then you have a problem because you need to rework again and again. So it's really important to be sure at the very beginning that the solution you will go for is a solution you will keep or you stay with in long term. And this is something what we at INTAS are doing, because we are really accompany you with this process. And also when there's a decision to go for the license, or even in the MiCA context to go with the passporting rule, etc., and applying for the approval under MiCA, we will be keen to accompany in this process and accompany really in the technical and the business related stuff. Of course, you need at the very end a lawyer to approve everything, but the whole part before that, we are the right contact person. So please feel free to contact us anytime if you have these kind of thinkings, or if you just think about offering or what could be a potential way for you to enter that space and to access or to give access to digital assets to your private clients. That's it from my side. So thanks a lot, and I think we will have the question and answers afterwards, right?
Right. Thank you so much, Sandra.